Check, check, 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. All right, we've got audio. Wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to set everything up by myself, but I got a little makeshift setup going here. Just vibing out as I set the scene for tonight's reading. Also going to be doing a reveal, tarot reveal from the Muse Tarot Deck. So, a lot to cover tonight, but capturing this full moon energy. I set my crystals outside, intentions, energy, all of it's definitely high. These last couple of days, I would say, maybe last week or so. So I'm going to be starting probably around 11:11. Just vibing out, getting some stuff together. Alright, it is 11:11. So greetings. This is yours truly, Dr. Truelove, that is. And I'm going to be getting into a tarot reading from the Hoodoo Tarot, as well as a tarot reveal from the Muse Tarot Deck. So I'll probably start with the reveal since the reading's already done for that. And then get into the Hoodoo reading. So let's see what we got going on here. See if I remember how to switch this out. Hey, and we live. So got the Hoodoo Tarot deck here. I've had the cards out for maybe a few days now. I had my clear quartz crystal on them. I don't know where my crystal is now. I think it's outside getting charged up with my other crystals, but I like to just cleanse the deck between each reading. And this reading tonight is a special reading. Rather than doing a reading for myself or for somebody else, it's actually for a organization or a collective of individuals called Chamber of Black Markets, of which I'm a member of. So they allowed me to do a couple of readings for them, and this would be the second one that I will be doing. But before I get into all that, I'm just gonna set some intentions and things. Hopefully my audio and visual isn't too crazy. Kind of winging it for tonight, but like I said, it is 1/17, January 17th. Want to capture that 1 and 7 energy. Captured it last week on 1/11 with the Muse Tarot. So I'll be starting off with the reveal from the Muse. Let's see. So there it is, Muse Tarot deck there. And then on the side here, got the Voodoo Tarot set up. Alright, so first I'm going to actually light, or not light, but start my diffuser that I have back here. I've got some of just a little bit of lemongrass inside, and I only used a little bit because I'm also going to be lighting a candle. Alright, so got the diffuser going on back there. Okay, just a little more light for the set. Alright, this candle is quite special as well. I actually got it today. This is hand poured by Candy Coated Candle Co. One of my line sisters makes candles, so definitely wanted to support her. And I was looking for candles actually, or been meaning to get some candles, so it was perfect timing. When I ordered it, it said that it was going to be delivered yesterday, so it's just awesome that it got here just in time for me to do this stream. And I'm going to be burning the Good Days candle here. Camera quality is not the best, but when I upload the video to YouTube, I'll link it in the description and all that. It smells nice and light and fruity. It is guava and strawberry. So get this lit here, and it says to not burn it for more than like 2 hours at a time. I won't be on that long, so I'll get it going there. And then I also have my special tarot box, courtesy of the Chamber of Black Markets family. So I had both of the decks actually spent some time in this box, just to kind of absorb and capture the energy within me into the reading, all that good stuff. So I'm going to start off with the Muse Tarot Reveal, and typically I'll do about like a 3-card spread. 3 cards meaning like past or lessons learned, or it can be just things that are memories. And then the second card position typically is representative of the present time, things to kind of pay attention to be aware of. And then the third card, or the last card position, I typically think about as something that's coming up or something to kind of keep an eye out for. I did ask the group to give me some intentions for the reading with the Muse Tarot, and that was abundance and clarity. And before I do the reading, I like to just read the introduction for the actual deck to get an idea of what the intention for the deck is. Acknowledge the author in this case. It's Chris Ann. And on the inside, it's got a nice little message on the inside that says, "There is magic in truth. There is truth in my veins, where my blood speaks and soothes, and my mind has no reins." This deck has a awesome website that you should check out called, I think it's musetarot.com, but it has like all the cards on there. Love the artwork, definitely excellent. I've actually never done any readings for myself from this deck. I just thought it was really cool and really beautiful to look at, and actually haven't looked at all the cards. I only look at the cards that I pull. But with this deck, it's been requested a few times, so I've gotten to see some of the cards by doing some readings for some others. The introduction in the guidebook, in every tarot deck, typically comes with a guidebook in it. So if you're new to tarot, if you've never really experienced it before, they do have nice tips and tools to guide you along the way. But the introduction to the Muse Tarot reads, this will be unorthodox, it will be experimental, poetic, and strange. It is meant to be healing. If it pushes your buttons, ask why. If it makes you cry, ask why. If it inspires you, ask why. If it makes you smile, take that shizzle and bottle it up for a rainy day. This project was meant as an anthology, a sonnet, a love poem to the muse, a place for you to think about your own connection to her, a place for you to, hopefully, feel inspired to begin your own unique relationships with her, or him, or it, or they. I invite you to join me on this journey of inner prodding, stoking, creating, and learning. It is my hope that you will learn to connect with your muse through poetry, story, music, and cards. That you learn more about what inspires you and about the actions that you can take to make your own creator path wild with adventure. I would love for you to use this deck as a way to jumpstart a million creative ideas, or as a way to satisfy your desire for a deeper connection to your magical life. It's my greatest wish that you laugh and play with great seriousness, and that you make this journey alive with joy. May we learn more about ourselves and our souls and our approach our own creative inspiration with all the wonder and awe required to go beyond the rationale. May you get to know your inner muses and begin a lifelong friendship with this magical energy that will always be there to lift you up and to inspire you when you need a little ... So, that is the Muse introduction. Most tarot decks have about 78 cards in them. I'm not going to get too deep into the organization and everything of tarot. You can check me out on YouTube, where I go into a little bit of how tarot is organized and why I like tarot. So you can check that out there. But I'm reaching over here and grabbing the cards that were pulled on 11/11. Okay. So just some things that I was picking up on today. Today is MLK, or Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and it was interesting because I was going back through one of the other readings that I did for myself personally with the African American Tarot Deck, which is this one here. And I typically take a picture of all the readings I do and post it somewhere so that I have it to reflect back on. But I didn't take a picture of this reading, but going back, because I wanted to catch back up on some of the readings that I haven't documented. But going back to this reading, the first card that I pulled had a Martin Luther King Jr. reference to it, so I thought that was kind of cool looking back at that today, considering it's Martin Luther King Day, King Jr. Day. And also I was doing some cleaning out of my garage today, and there was a book that my husband, again, shout outs to the music Ivy produced that he makes, but there was a book that he picked up. He was like, oh, this is a Michelle Obama book. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah, we can't get rid of Michelle Obama. So I have that book now sitting up on my spirit book collection. And ironically enough, today is her birthday. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm glad that I held on to that book so that I can check it out. Alright, so I I did this reading, like I said, on 111. Intentions were abundance and creativity. So I'm going to do the tarot reveal now. I've already seen the cards, so I'll go through them relatively quickly. But the first card here, use my light a bit, let's see, is the Page of Emotions. So, and there's like a lot of feminine energy with this deck, obviously, hence the introduction referring to the muse as a her. But here we see a woman with a red long sleeve shirt on. She has some type of heart in the center. There's like aquatic life all around her, and her shirt's even like part of the sea. Got some spokes of light radiating from her heart center, and she's looking, this would be facing the her left side. All right, so that's the Page of Emotions, and I'll go through the cards first just to show them, and then head to the guidebook. Second card was the Six of Voices. Again, my camera's not the most clear here, but I do take a picture of my readings with a high quality camera, so once I post the recording on the YouTube, I'll be posting a higher quality image. So here we see another woman. She appears to be holding up some other woman there in the distance. It looks like she's helping her across this bridge with these three sharp pointy peaks in the middle. And it's hard to see, but there's like some mountains in the background, in the yellow background back there. She's got some kind of headpiece on her head there. She's kind of bowing down and just assisting the woman across. Looks like two mountainsides and maybe a valley in between. She's also got a lot of trinkets and things on her fingers, wrists, and there's like it's almost like a dotted line coming off of her hand on the side there, going off into the mountainside. So that's Six of Voices. All right. Then we have the Fool. So the Fool is the very first card that you would find in most tarot decks, notated by the 00, and it is considered one of the major arcana cards. There's about, I think, 13 or so major arcana cards, and then the rest are minor arcana cards. So this one is part of the very first set of cards known as the major arcana. But anyways, we have a woman here. She is pretty much levitating. Doesn't look like her feet are touching that sand on the ground. We have some sort of ladder on my right side there. Might be flipped on the stream, but we got a ladder that's transversing what looks like the universe at the bottom here in the sandy area, maybe indicating the earth versus the universe. And she's heading off into, looks like in the distance towards the light. There's some type of illumination or radiating light coming from this corner. And the universe down here looks like it's forming some kind of stream, similar to the other card here where we had two mountainsides and a stream in between. Here we've got kind of two sandy sides with the universe in between there. Hair is blowing in the wind, so some type of force is kind of taking her, and she's kind of just going with it. All right. So what's interesting about when I did this reading, definitely felt a lot of emotions within it, especially this card here, the Six of Voices. Down a bit, there we go. And I also pay attention to the direction of the cards, so meaning she's facing forward or to the left. She's also facing the left. So is this other woman on the side there. And she is being also guided or heading to the left side too. And not all of the cards, again, I haven't seen all the cards, but not all of the cards have that type of directionality. For example, the card on the cover of the deck is very centered, and some of the other cards, that one's centered, that one's centered. That's the one I pulled there. So I paid attention to stuff like that. But when I did this reading, I guess I was a little bit confused. I understood that there's some kind of journey going on here, obviously, with the direction of the cards. But I feel like this card here was the most confusing for me. But each deck has, just like in playing cards, your decks have suits. So instead of like hearts, spades, clubs, and things like that, you'll find decks name them differently. So in this deck, there are emotions, and emotions are pretty much signifying or in place of cups. So cups is typically what you would see in your standard tarot deck, but obviously in the Muse Tarot they've changed up some things to go along with the creative muse intention of the deck. And just to quote the guidebook here, it says the cups have transitioned into emotions. So that would be this card here with the cups. A suit that helps us recognize our heart space and in tune to our feelings. And then the airy swords have grown into voices. So this one was voices. A suit that helps, it says, as the difficulties we face when creating our lives is often a result of communication or of the voices inside our own heads. So I remember doing this reading and being a little bit confused, but once I read that, it started to make a little more sense. I know one of the goals that this collective, or we have as a collective, is to communicate and network more with people, to share what we're doing in our agenda and things like that. but at the same time, this reading had a lot of emotion with it. So my sentiment for this reading was pretty much a lot of healing going on with this reading here. And this last card, the Fool, shown there, it's kind of like that release and let go and kind of let the universe just drive you to create, drive you on your journey. But again, I was a little bit unsettled with this reading, so I sat the cards out, and I typically sit them out on my desk and glance at them every now and again, just to see if I can get any more clarity from the cards. And strangely enough, there was actually a fourth card to this reading. So oftentimes I just do a 3-card spread. Sometimes it's more, but for the most part, I stick to kind of 3 cards. And so when I found this fourth card, which I will share shortly, when I found this fourth card, it was kind of like, okay, maybe this card is going to be kind of clarifying for the whole reading. And a lot of times, other tarot practitioners and things, sometimes they pull another card if they need to pull a clarifying card. So the fact that this one card, and it was just kind of sitting up on my desk where I had my decks, and I always try to grab all the cards, and 99% of the time I do, but the fact that this one card was kind of sitting there was kind of like, yeah, I was looking for a little more clarity in this reading. Again, I felt a lot of emotions. I've understood that the power of communication is kind of that bridge from kind of taking the emotions and connecting them and then really releasing them out there. Nobody knows what the impact or what the influence of what you do until it actually happens. So without further ado, this last card that, again, I didn't intentionally pull this card. It was just kind of sitting out for me, I guess, to discover is, let me get the light here, a High Priestess. So let's see. There we go. Or the Priestess, as it's called in this deck. And again, another woman here. And she's holding up the moon to her palm, and it's illuminated there. Half of her face is covered, but she looks pretty in tune and connected to the universe, almost like she's seeing maybe into the future or seeing beyond just the normal realm. Like I said, when I pulled this card, I was like, okay, now it kind of ties it all together. In that I was kind of searching for clarity more so in these last 2 cards. Well, for the most part in this center card and this card here, the Priestess kind of gave me some clarity with that. I'm still kind of digesting everything. I like to just take time. Again, I'll sit the cards out every now and again, take a look at them, see different things, just let time go by. I don't do readings like frequently, so I like to sit with them and just gain inspiration with them over time. All right, but starting with the Page of Emotions, a little bit better there. All right, keywords. serendipitous joy, synchronicity, creativity, playfulness, finding new possibility, unexpected magic, opportunities to refresh and rejoice, a mystical and poetic energy, a youthful and imaginative person. Prompt: swimming in the visceral. There's so much magic in the world, and the page of emotions knows how to expect it, for expecting it is akin to seeking it in the everyday, and seeking it in the everyday and the mundane is the key to seeing it everywhere. There are universes of powerful truth to be found in the internal horizons of our being. So deeper down her rabbit hole of history and feelings she dives, she begins to understand that the synchronicity she spots today is a result of energy and priming she sent into the biosphere yesterday. She uses this technology of magic to create her path, always remaining childlike and playful as she imagines her future. She lives less goal-driven and more heart-driven. She invites you to be surprised by the beautiful serendipity in your world today, and to use that inspiration as a starting point for your next move. Start with the light releasing of control. And then there's a little affirmation here. It says, living a magical life is a choice. Shout outs to the CBM team. This reading is for them, and like I said, I'm going to do another reading from the Hoodoo, but I'm getting through the card meanings for the Muse Tarot here. Alright, keywords here: transitions, help coming from unexpected places, quiet movement, successful expansion after a period of difficulty, crossing thresholds, changes, realignment. The prompt is distance covered in the hands of the muse. And then meaning here says she stands at the edge of her sanity, not knowing how to go any further, but knowing she needs to cross to the other side. Looking up at the heavens, she sends a silent prayer for help and is answered by the lightness that she hasn't felt for so long. The muse of difficult transitions lends a helping hand to those who seek solace and passage to new states of being, living, and loving. Sometimes the way across the river is unclear and muddy. In these times, the muse asks us to be open to receiving help from wonderfully unexpected places. Trust that serendipity will find you. Look for kind gestures of beauty, and keep seeking the bright waters over tomorrow's horizons. As these root and stir inside your soul, you will be moved in the direction of small miracles. And then the affirmation for this card here: yet forward she crosses, her passage of silence, lack laughter without mentions, pervasive steeping, inner quiet, helped by kind intentions. That was kind of a tongue twister. Let me try that one more time. Yet forward she crosses, her passage of silence, lack laughter without mentions, pervasive steeping, inner quiet, helped by kind intentions. All right, that was the Six of Voices. I had to fact check myself there. All right, so we got the Fool. Keywords here: a new journey, beginnings, trusting the universe, a time for optimism, not knowing what's coming, naivety, needing to learn new skills, analysis paralysis, a leap of faith. Prompt is uncertain beauty. She hums a tune she used to know, and with batted wishes she leaps into an abyss of stars and possibility. Thoughts eager, heart racing, hopes high. A million bits of colored stardust rise up to meet her, and she greets myth and opportunity as she tumbles forward. She sees her future here, in this beautiful swirl of light and potential. "What are you searching for?" asks the muse. "Something brave," she whispers. "Something new." For the briefest of moments, she feels unprepared, naive, unsure, foolish. She asks herself, "Are you ready for this? Can you take this journey?" And the muse wants her to remember that she is and she can. She wants her to believe in her magic, and she leans deeper into trust and begins to hum once more. A song that sounds different this time around, grander, epic even. The notes vibrate, space around her, and her new path begins to unfold, leaving nothing to do but begin. And the affirmation with this card is: fearlessly jump into the sea of cosmos. The spinning potentials are calling. Maybe a little foolish today, yet better done fool-like than stalling. All right, so that is the Fool. Kind of gave a little more clarity to everything, kind of forward facing again, being in this third card position, and considering things like crypto and the blockchain and NFTs and all of these relatively new technologies that have come into the light. There is a lot of uncertainty with that, but at the same time, I think there's beauty in these new lanes that are being created. So, as the card says, maybe a little foolish today, yet better done fool-like than stalling. So, just exploring and seeing what's out there and going for it, and just being kind of assisted by the creative energy from the muse in the case of this deck here, helping along the way is kind of what I gauged from there. And then when I found the last card here, the Priestess, it kind of clarified and sealed this whole reading. All right, so Priestess. Keywords: intuitive power, intuitive powers, and powerful nudges from spirit. Psychic dreams, a time to listen to your instincts, introspection, visions and hearing the heavens, keeping secrets, hidden wisdom, allowing your projects to germinate in numinous space of the luminal. Let me just read that one more time. Keeping secrets, hidden wisdom, allowing your projects to germinate in the luminous space of the liminal. All right. The prompt is sacred sheer. She sits with one foot in this realm and the other in the depths of the cosmic field of information. Hers is a throne made of ocean and sand, a conductor of ancient wisdom and of the divine mysteries that are passed down to those who seek her with an open heart. She reaches up for the moon and holds its pulsing energy in her palms, listening for revelations from the muse. She asks you to open up to its secrets as a metaphor and message spill forth in strange tongues. You must trust your intuition to translate. Your instincts are powerful, guidance system. And the Priestess reminds you that working with the subtle energies of the spirit will bring you unshrouded truth, prophetic truth even. Pay attention to your dreams and to your mind's eye as potent and meaningful messages are coming to you now. Keep your inner voice open to inner listening. As the ocean, or the affirmation reads then, as the ocean you can hear, our eyes not mirrored by your fear, and we connect past veiled veneer in truthful Delphic crystal clear. So that was definitely an interesting card that I pulled there. Like I said, it kind of clarified and sealed everything that was here, especially the part about allowing your projects to germinate in the luminous space of the liminal. So I had to look up some words there. Numinous, Numinous. Numinous space is basically like a sacred, spiritual space. And then liminal pretty much means like the unknown. So it kind of clarified this card here, the Fool, where she's kind of traveling into the unknown. Then this card here, the Priestess, she knows pretty much the truth. She knows everything. She's in tune with her psychic powers and all of that. And then also, again, it kind of clarified this voice, Six of Voices here, where the Muse is depicted kind of carrying this other person to the other side. So throughout this whole reading, again, lots of feminine energy, hence the Muse, and just more that I'll have to kind of sit with and process, and potentially do a part 2 of some reflections and connections that I see with the readings. Pretty crazy how I just found that last card when I was kind of seeking a little more clarity, and there it came. So getting into the Hoodoo Tarot deck here. And just like I did with the Muse Tarot, I'll just give the little, read the intro of the deck so we know what the intention that the deck was created is. And this deck is by Tiana Lee McKillier, and the artwork is by Cataleon Foisey. This is a lot, the guidebook's a lot bigger, obviously. The deck is a lot, well, the cards aren't necessarily bigger, but the packaging here a little more large. I'll read this section here, getting to know the Hoodoo Tarot deck, so we're just familiar a bit with how the cards of this deck are organized. So it says the structure of Hoodoo Tarot is based on the extended family unit, which was the traditional familial structure of the vast majority of indigenous peoples. The elder is the family and the community. Just as the major arcana is the foundation of the tarot, the elders are the foundation of the family. The elders in indigenous communities serve the same purpose as the majors, to transmit age-old knowledge and wisdom via the use of complex symbolism and story. Thus, elders are venerated as living libraries from which an unfathomable amount of data may be assessed regarding a culture's traditions, history, and what that people perceive to be their ultimate purpose as warriors, artisans, etc. The family is equivalent to the court cards in standard tarot decks. In this regard, the family in this deck actually represents the idealized American nuclear family model rather than aristocrats and their servants. However, the family and court cards share a similar purpose in that they both represent specific people or personality types. The community relates to the minor arcana as they both reflect the lessons of the elders regarding mundane life experiences. And here, the four suits or the four tools, they have the baskets instead of the cups. They have the knives instead of the swords. They have the coins instead of, sometimes they're referred to as pentacles. And then they have sticks in place of sometimes wands. And then it says cards, images, plants, and Bible quotes. So it says, I carefully considered the meaning and key concepts of each card, and then I selected one or two aspects of each to formulate an image. I shared what I saw with Catalan, the artist, and she made it happen. The use of plants and herbs for healing and workings was an essential part of root work. I choose plants that were frequently used by root workers in the past. The majority of plants featured in the Hoodoo Tarot are indigenous to the southeastern United States. The ones that are still American, the ones that are not are still American unless otherwise stated. It is suggested that readers seek out additional information about how the plants are used and follow their intuition about how to incorporate the plants into their lives. The Bible quote for each card was chosen by researching keywords related to each card in the Bible glossary and then selecting the quotes that I felt were most compatible with the message I wanted to convey to the reader. Shuffled probably over the last few days, so energy is definitely transferred into the deck, and then the intention for this reading was to basically connect with our ancestors. So I'm going to do same thing, a 3-card spread here. Give my interpretations of the card and then see what the guidebook has to say. Got the husband here. He's gonna cut the deck with his magical hands. Alright, and so it is. Alright, so first card, we've got the Daughter of Knives. Let me see if I can get my flashlight back. Daughter of Knives. So I've actually pulled this card before, and it's pretty much a woman in the center. She's got all of these hands kind of reaching towards her. There is some kind of light source in the top, or in the top there, and she's kind of in the center of that light source, and it's hard to see, but her facial expression is relatively unbothered by all these hands that are reaching out to her. Alright, so that is the Daughter of Knives. Second card we have here, Father of Coins. So we've got man with some kind of headpiece on, sitting in front of a table. Got a lamp on the table, candles lit, and some other kind of circular pieces there. Can't quite tell what those are. But again, coins are symbolic of wealth or financials, things like that. And for this deck, the knives indicate ideas, thoughts, beliefs. And then, as I said, the coins are wealth. They also have security and protection. Right? And the last card here, we've got the 5 of coins. So again, a little difficult to see, but it's 2 men on the sides there, 1 man in the center. And it looks like the man on the left side is kind of blowing something into the air. And he's holding some type of greenery. And then the other individual, and actually might be a woman, may not be a man on this side here. But she's kind of just giving this almost maybe a little bit annoyed look. And then there's this boy with kind of a tattered white cloth on, or shirt, maybe it was a shirt, it looks a little ripped or something, and he's kind of just caught in the middle there. And on the bottom there are what look like 5 little golden coins at their feet. Little circles. So definitely lots of coins in this reading here. Get a little better close up there. Alright. The plant for this card is the yarrow, Yarro. The image is the Daughter of Knives, is a spiritualist who has made contact with a plethora of spirits via her talking board. So I guess that's what's in the center. In the center there, talking board. She is talented at what she does, so the messages come so fast that it's almost overwhelming. The Daughter of Knives represents swift delivery of messages and the accomplishment of goals. On the positive side, she is logical, quick-witted, action-oriented, well-informed, direct, philosophical, and always up for a challenge. On the negative side, she is sarcastic, condescending, rude, impatient, domineering, insensitive, acidic, pedantic. In a reading, if she doesn't represent a literal person with these qualities, then she represents these attributes. So that is the Daughter of Knives. Alright, next up is the Father of Coins. Plant for this is sesame. The image, the Father of Coins, displays a genie lamp, an incense burner, and a mason jar oil lamp with the mystical name of Allah inside to attract prosperity. Orientalism was very fashionable during the 19th century and early 20th centuries, among the general populace and especially among occultists. While headscarves, tignons, and turbans were certainly not new to the Black American population, some root workers began to wear more elaborate Karnak-style turbans to attract customers. It was also during this time, the same time period, that more Black Americans became interested in researching and studying their Islamic, Moorish, East Indian, and Asiatic heritage. Meaning, the father of coins is the personification of a wealthy, successful businessman. On the positive side, he is an efficient leader, responsible, disciplined, reliable, enterprising, lucky, and focused on abundance. On the negative side, he is classist, a show-off, a braggart, makes bad investments, has gambling problems, will resort to questionable or illegal activity to, quote, make it, or is susceptible to the get-rich-quick schemes. In a reading, if he doesn't represent a literal person with these qualities, then he represents these attributes. All right. So that is the Father of Coins. Money Man. Then this last card that I got there is the Five of Coins. The Five of Coins. Okay. The plant here is the nettle. 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 The image, a root worker from Missouri named Sam Nightingale, is shown giving two down and out people a spiritual cleansing with herbs and rum. Sam was originally from Guinea and was well loved and respected as a storyteller and conqueror in Missouri. The meaning: positive, hard times are coming to an end, a new job after prolonged unemployment, renewed faith, recovery from financial ruin, improved luck, feeling welcome, rehabilitation, debt repayment, and a light at the end of the tunnel. And on the negative side, unemployment, homelessness, recessions, worry, failure to seek spiritual guidance, adversity, misery, despair, disgrace, misfortune, loss, disappointment, miserable luck, being down and out, isolation, lack of faith, and ill health. So all of the cards have a positive and a negative side to them. And of course, it's all in the perspective that the reading is done. These two cards I've pulled, I think, a couple of times. So again, there's just a lot of energy around the concept of wealth, and as far as the CBM collective goes, generational wealth is part of the mission, so definitely see that continuing to manifest in the cards. And then this last card here, that Father of Coins, the kind of that kind of like new beginnings type of feel with that, even though the two people are kind of like, they look kind of out of place almost, but they're with this Sam Nightingale, known to be very spiritual and performing a cleansing on them. So just telling pretty much telling them to follow their faith, and if they don't have that, then finding a spiritual guide to kind of guide them along that way. And then obviously if that's not done, then you can look at some of the negative aspects to the cards. So I love the Hoodoo Tarot deck. I love the history and the culture and some of the knowledge that the deck has revealed to me over time. I like the kind of, again, the familial daughter, father references that the deck uses there. So just an all-around very spiritual deck, and probably the deck that I do most of my readings from. So yeah, just like the other reading, I will take a photo of it and set the cards out along with the other reading that I did with the Muse Tarot Deck that's here. So I've got 2 readings to really kind of sink down into and just kind of see the connections with the stories that each card is telling, also the reading as a whole, and even any connection between the reading done here and the other reading done from the Muse Tarot. So lots for me to kind of consume and digest. I hope that this was interesting. If you've never seen tarot or heard about tarot, it's definitely, I think, a enlightening tool, a good tool to add to spiritual practice, considering it is a visual craft. I'm a visual person, so I do like kind of making the associations with what I see and connecting that to some signs and synchronicities that I see within my own personal life and the universe. So yeah, I'm gonna sit with them, and I'll be posting the recording in due time after I get the images and everything. But it has been an honor, always a pleasure doing this multi-deck reading here. But this is yours truly, Dr. True Love. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. Hit that follow button so that you can be notified when I hop on stream next. And yeah, we'll see where these readings take us. I might come back and do an update. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna vibe us out with some more self-reflection vibes and call it a night.